welcome to Hack4Missions. I'm Allie Llewellyn, and this is Nick Skidlin, and we've had the privilege to serve with this amazing community for this collaboration this week at Urbana. On behalf of the entire leadership team, the mentors, the challenge leads, and many, many others who made this time today possible, thank you. For the past 3 days, we've had the privilege of leading Urbana's first ever hackathon. This hackathon was inspired by past Urbana experiences as students looked to find their own place to help further God's mission on the earth. Students wanted an opportunity to invest their time and talent and their unique gift of creating and sharing using technology. We heard stories from past Urbanas of technical students walking through the exhibit hall thinking, what about my gifts and talents? Where are the people like me? Surely God led me to engineering or technology or all these other disciplines for a reason, but there's nothing for me here. This need was recognized by Urbana leadership, and accordingly, Hack4Missions was born. 190 incredibly talented students have met over the last 3 days in the afternoon program to serve alongside one another and develop what you're about to see here today.
Wow. Yeah.
In just a moment, we're going to see a video play right there. It's awesome.
Do I start this video camera? All set.
Should I look at you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So should I stare at the camera?
Yeah, look at the camera.
My name is Jean-Pierre Gutierrez, JP. I go to the University of California, Merced, and I'm a computer science engineer.
Yeah.
My name is Donna Hobley. I go to the University of Colorado, Denver, and I'm currently studying digital design.
So I worked with Hack4Missions for making different games for Jesus. I was a front-end web developer, so I worked with mostly HTML and CSS.
Urbana is not only an event, but it's a platform for students who want to serve on mission using their time and their talents, with a focus on their ability to leverage technology and creative ways to do this. Hack4Missions is a unique opportunity to rethink missions, to use technology to change the world, and to collaborate with others who share this passion.
I was really encouraged to come into a room and see a lot of like-minded brothers and sisters.
I learned that when you work on a team of God hackers, your team turns into a church, and you get big stuff done.
Here's the thing. Hackathons have great challenges, important issues we need to address in the world. And they have important solutions that represent how we can use technology to create change. But hackathons are really about the community, about the envisioned, empowered group of people that we're unleashing and great permission to go and make a difference in the world.
So we are so excited to see all of you here. And on the first day of the hackathon, just a few days ago, we reminded the students that are participating of this quote from William Carey: "Expect great things from God, attempt great things from God." And this has really become a theme of this hackathon. And the quote really set the stage for the hackathon, and I think what you'll see today is how God showed up in a big way through the lives of these students and the experience that they had here at Urbana. We expected great things, and these guys attempted great things. Christian Stith was one of the Urbana bloggers, and he was writing ahead of time and said, "For pretty much the first time in my life, I won't be coding for a professor, or a homework deadline, or an intern supervisor. I'll be coding for Jesus." And that's what Hack4Missions is all about. So as we'll see during this program, God showed up in a big way this week, and it wasn't just about developing technology.
The vision for Hack4Missions really stems from a conviction about what it means to be on mission, what it means to serve others, and what it is to be a global church. And these things are literally being redefined right in front of us. with technology making that a reality. We did that right here this week at Urbana. This hackathon has been structured around 12 unique challenges, providing concrete ways for these students to apply technology to missions, to serve one another, and to demonstrate what it is to be the global church. It's so vital for mission organizations to have good technology, and this is our opportunity to serve them. Most importantly, this week is your chance and mine to explore how we use our time, talent, and technology to serve God's mission around the world. We came into Hack4Missions with 3 specific expectations. That God would use us to impact places around the world with technology that have never heard the gospel. That God would give us a chance to wrestle with the world's biggest problems, not just first world problems, but truly global ones. And that God would give us the time and space this week to discern his place in our life and his call for us to use technology for these specific purposes.
So this week is what we like to call a mass collaboration. It's a chance to deeply connect with each other as you apply technology in innovative ways for God's purposes on earth. Just as a body, though one has many parts, but all its many parts form one body, so it is with Christ. This work is best done in community, which I think you'll see here. A normal hackathon is 36 to 48 hours. You had 9 hours of work time. And what you'll see here is probably better than the average outcome of a normal hackathon. And I think it's because we did it as a community, as a body of Christ. So who's here? Who's in the room? You guys saw this infographic before. This has been all over Urbana. You can go to the next slide. We did some just some kind of stats and statistical science on who was here. And what we realized was that there are 48% computer science majors in the room. Who's a computer science major? Raise your hand. All right, you represent. So you guys are the people who show up to hackathons, and we're super excited about that. But what's also cool is that 11% of you are designers, 9% of you are electrical engineers, 4% of you are mathematics majors, 4% of you are mechanical engineers. And then we have anthropologists, economics majors, business majors, film production, journalism, linguistics, architecture, applied physics, bioinformatics, cognitive science, English, and finance. And I think that demonstrates that the body of Christ is diverse. There's a lot of skills that come into this, and this is what makes an amazing hackathon.
So I'd like to invite Tom Lynn to come up, and he's going to take us in and share for just a minute. Tom is the Vice President of Missions for InterVarsity and the Director of Urbana. He has planted InterVarsity chapters at Harvard and Boston University, worked as an HR director, served as a leadership pastor, worked in the nations, and written 2 books, on top of having an incredibly beautiful family. It's an incredible list of diverse things to be proud of. But most of all, I'd love to just say this, that Tom truly empowers people to feel seen and like their unique gifts are seen and needed and counted. He empowers people with his belief in them and with his belief in God's call on their life. And that right there is why all of us have had the chance to have a hackathon here this week. So we're so grateful, and why don't you make Tom feel welcome?
Thank you, Nick and Allie. Thank you all. Thanks, students. I want to thank all the brothers and sisters here for being part of Urbana's first ever hackathon. That's awesome. Thank you for taking the leap with us. Both the students, judges too, mentors, advisors, and the whole leadership team. Thanks for taking the leap with us. When some people first heard about the Urbana hackathon idea, I have to tell you the truth. I remember people saying, "Is that legal? Is hacking a good thing? Is there such a thing as Christian hacking?" Well, this week we answered those questions, and we answered a question that people have been asking for a long time. Can God use technology talents for missions? And our answer is yes. The Hack4Missions journey began over 2 years ago. I was talking with one of InterVarsity's information technologies staff about his Urbana experience as a student. I wonder if Paul Culp is here today. Paul Culp in the house? One of our information technology staff shared this story with me, and what he shared shocked me. He said, I didn't feel like Urbana was for me. As someone preparing for an IT career or tech-related field, it didn't seem like missions was possible. Missions and technology seemed disconnected. It didn't seem like God could use someone with my skills or background. His story set us on a course to change that. We wanted Urbana 15 to say clearly that all of you here have something to contribute to global missions, that all of you here can be used to impact God's kingdom, that all of you here can tell God's story through technology. We observe that many of us learn best when we're in an interactive environment, just like we were just talking about here, together in a community, when there are peers around us that we can bounce ideas off of, when there are mentors who are here who have experience to share with us. We observe that we live in a time of unprecedented need for technology solutions to some of the world's biggest challenges, including missions challenges. We observe that it's also a time of unprecedented opportunity as well for technology to accelerate missions and increase effectiveness. About 2 years ago, around the same time, I was in Peru. I visited there and was visiting some Bible translation efforts going on in Peru. What shocked me was when I ran into some Amazonian Bible translators. They're from the Amazon. And they told me how they do Bible translation today is they Skype with American consultants in Arizona. Can you believe that? Technology is accelerating Bible translation and missions. We observe that Urbana 15 could be a huge opportunity to rethink missions, to use technology to collaborate better, and to literally change the world for Christ. This is why the Urbana Hackathon, the Hack4Missions, was birthed. And I'm so glad we did this. Praise God. Over the course of this week, you, brothers and sisters here, have literally done the work that it might have taken several months, even years, for others to complete. I heard that some of the projects an organization couldn't even complete if they had the time. You've helped solve some of the biggest challenges in missions today. You've innovated solutions that will exponentially grow prayer, global worship, poverty alleviation, Bible translation efforts, and I could go on. You've created new products that will address policymaking and systemic injustice, security for the underground church, healthcare in the developing world. You've created evangelistic tools for the 2016 Olympics and other tools for missionaries around the world. Is there anything that hackers aren't able to solve? The work you've done this week is important, and it will be used for God's global mission. But more important than what you've done is what I believe God has done in you. What God has done in you this week. God has shown you His love, demonstrated through the gospel story. He's shown you that you're uniquely created, and you have unique passions and talents. He's shown you that you can use those passions and talents. He's shown you that a future vocation in technology doesn't have to be seen as an obstacle to God's mission, no, or disconnected from God's mission. But it's actually God's plan to use that vocation, to use those passions and talents in mission. God has spoken to you and called many of you to commit long-term to use those talents. And for many of you, He's already given a vision for what that might look like, and I think that's great. For others of you, you're still discerning that vision. You have some next steps to take with mentors after Urbana, and that's great. And I encourage you to follow up. Follow up in the last moments here at Urbana, and what are your next steps? But for all of us here, I want to conclude again with my question that I asked this morning. What story will you tell with your life? Will you commit to telling God's story through technology and through your talents? Thank you.
So oftentimes we get the question, who shows up to hackathons? You know, computer scientists, majors, engineers, that's true. But sometimes we get people who come into a hackathon that don't have any experience with technical stuff at all.